Hello viewers, and welcome to another episode of Grappone Drive. It is a gorgeous October day today, and I'm very excited because, well, I'm a Honda guy for one, but two, I have the all new, and I mean all new, 2018 Honda Accord with me today. There is so much that we can talk about, so let's go right ahead and get started so I can show you some of the cool new features that they've put into it. So the Accord has two different engines this year, which is the same as it's been for quite a while, but they are totally different engines than the Accord has ever had before. Today we have the 1.5T, that's good for 192 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque. That is a turbo, which is the first time the Accord has ever come with a turbo from the factory. You can get it either with a CVT transmission, which is what we have today, or on the Sport Edition you can get a 6-speed manual, so I'm really happy to see that Honda has carried that over. There's also the other engine. It's no longer a V6. It is now a 2.0 liter turbocharged engine. It is actually the same engine as in the Civic Type R, but it's been retuned a little bit to provide better everyday drivability. That comes with either a 10-speed automatic, which is the first time it's been in a production sedan for Honda, and you can again get it with the Sport and a 6-speed manual. I'm very excited for when that comes in. I'm going to do additional review of that, the Sport turbo with the manual, but it won't come out for another month or so, mid to end of November, so stay tuned for that. But here we have that nice 1.5. It's in the same engine as the Civic and the CR-V, tuned a little bit differently here, of course. You're going to get fantastic fuel economy. You can get as high as 38 miles per gallon on this one here that we have today, the EX with the CVT, which is just really great. So I'm excited to see how this drives, how it handles that power, and really get to see how it feels as we're going about. Taking a look here at the outside, we can see a lot of really nice design features from Honda this year. So first off, we have these C-shaped light pipe LED tail and running lights, or brake lights rather, which look really sharp, especially at night. And as we go down, you'll just notice the whole car has a very wide planted sporty stance. And that's no shock, because Honda actually shortened the vehicle up, made it a little bit wider, and lowered it a little bit as well to really give it that sporty look. One of the things that I think is pretty nice this year is there's no longer a catch release for the fuel door. Now you simply press it open, and you don't even have a fuel filler cap. It's capless, so you can just put your gas right in, and when you're done, close it up. And what's nice is that when you lock the car, this locks too, so you don't have to worry about anyone stealing your fuel. Going along down the side, you can see we've got that nice chrome strip running up along the bottom. Really, you can really see that lower sporty stance. And I love these new headlights. So this year, all Accords have LED headlights, and all of them, of course, have the LED daytime running light and turn signal. Depending on exactly which model you have, you're going to have at the very least the low beam LEDs, which is what we have here today. If you step up to the Touring model with either engine, you get full LED, both low and high. So that high beam halogen headlight that's here on our EX today will be replaced with full LED lights. We can see too, we have the nice new front end from Honda, carries over from that design with the Civic, and we have standard Honda sensing, our sensors right there on the bottom. So just some of the updates here on the new Accord. Can't wait to show the inside. 15.8 cubic feet of space is a large trunk, but leave it to Honda, they didn't feel that was enough. So on the 2018 Accord, we have this positively massive 16.7 cubic foot trunk. And as you can see from me being inside, and here I'll get out so you can see the whole inside, it is humongous, absolutely huge. I drive a CR-V, and this is almost as large of an area that I have. Granted, it's not as tall, of course. If for some reason you still need more space, you can just pull one of these levers on either side. And on this EX model, that is a 60-40 split rear seat, and you can fold down either half of it to extend your cargo area even more if you find that you need that space. Walking up to the car with that smart key on you, you can just press the button right here under the H logo to open that trunk. There is a button right on the remote, so you don't have to unlock the car. If someone is, farther away, you want to just let them into the trunk, you can do that. And there's also a button on the driver's door. Now, something that you might be wondering is, okay, well, that's all electronic. So what happens if my battery dies? Well, thanks to Honda Pro Jason, so shout out to him, there's actually a little trap door right here that you can pop off and stick your key in, and it will manually open the trunk up. That way, if you have, I don't know, your jumper cables or something in the back, you can get to those and jump start your car. So there you go, there's the cargo room, and a helpful tip thanks to Honda Pro Jason. As you can tell from me being back here, this is a humongous back seat. In fact, right now it is the largest in the class, which is still considered a mid-sized car. Now, I left the seat as it was. I'm 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", somewhere in there as a driver. So as you can see, I mean, the knee room is just insane. Close to a foot, it seems. And my feet don't even, I don't even have to worry about foot room because my feet don't even go under the seat. There's just so much. And even if I'm like way up here, even still my feet, there's plenty of room underneath that. So incredible. I can't believe how much space is back here. I thought the last Accord had a lot of back seat room, but this is just blown that one even out of the water. We have map pockets on both sides of the seats, which is something I like. And if you've watched any of my videos, I'm kind of a bit of a pet peeve with that because sometimes you only have them all on one side, which I think is a little cheap. 4 grab handles all around, which is great, unlike some of the other vehicles I've test driven lately. And we have a huge, nice center armrest with a pair of cup holders. We also have cup holders here in the doors, more like bottle holders. I wouldn't put a hot coffee or anything in there. And thank you, Honda, for giving me rear seat air vents. Just because I'm a backseat passenger doesn't mean that I don't deserve to have heat or air conditioning, just like the front seat passengers. So I applaud them on that. We've got our regular light back here. I mean, just seriously huge. The center, there is a center tunnel hump there. I'm closer to the ceiling here for sure, but even still is, I mean, probably a good, 2 inches of room between my head and there. And granted, this is with the sunroof, so it's a little bit lower than it probably would be. But here on the side, there's plenty. And I know that could be a bit of a worry considering the new coupe-like profile, but that's still, a good 4 inches, I'd say, between my head and the ceiling, so that's fine there. Material quality's pretty good. I'm a little disappointed up on the front doors. This right here is soft touch materials. We do have the padding still, but the top of the door here is hard plastic, and so is this, whereas on the front it is squishy, so that's a little disappointing. And on the front this is fake wood, whereas back here it's just like a grayish black plastic. So yeah, there's some cost cutting, but I mean, they had to do it somewhere, so at least it's nothing super hugely obvious and nothing that's going to irritate you to no end. So that's great. I mean, this, I just can't get over how big this is, and your passengers surely are not going to be having any complaints about it either. I know I wouldn't be. Honda really set its sights high with this new Accord. They were not content with just another Accord coming out. They wanted to make sure that this was the best Accord. And actually, Car and Driver right now just recently said that this new Accord is America's best sedan. That's high regard from such a big company that's been around for a long time and tests a lot of cars. And you know what? I can't disagree with them. This Accord drives so smoothly. Honda made sure that when they redid it, they made the Accord lighter. And depending on the exact trim level that you have, it's anywhere between 110 and 176 pounds lighter than the previous generation, which, yes, is more than I even weigh, no matter what scale you go with. That's a lot, and that really is felt. There's a lot of aluminum intensive subframe and suspension bits now, which really lighten the whole car up, all the unsprung weight. And with the turbo engines, there's no longer that V6 hanging over the front end, which helps to contribute to that 60-40 weight distribution, which is really what we're trying to go with when you have a front-wheel drive vehicle. Basically, what all of that translates to is a very sharp handling, very comfortable Accord. That's really not unlike any other Accords, but this one just seems even more so. It has more of a premium feel to it. That kind of goes in part too with the interior. Not only do the looks outside just look extra sharp, but this interior has a very high-end feel to it. We're only in the EX, which is not that high up in the trim level range. It's right about in the middle, and it's kind of what I would call your bread and butter Accord. It comes with a lot of the things that people are looking for, such as a moonroof and heated seats now as well. But you get standard dual zone climate control as you have in the past. You have this beautiful 8-inch touchscreen audio system, which now Honda has changed up so that instead of it being that dual screen system that got a lot of flack, it's a very, very quick to respond system based on Android. You can do Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in the sport trims and above, which will make a lot of people happy. Here in the EX, we have 8 speakers. On the EXL and Tourings, you have 10 speakers with a 450 watt stereo system, which we're talking high end at that point. You've got cooled seats available on the new Touring model, which is an added bonus, nothing that's ever been done before. And then there's just a lot of high-tech features. So Honda sensing, as I mentioned, comes standard on all of the Accords now, which is the first time that's ever been the case. And on the EX and above trims, that also adds blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert. So if you pop the car into reverse and you start backing up at a space that you can't see because maybe there's trucks besides you, those sensors in the rear bumper will let you know if there's oncoming traffic, and it alerts you on the screen. I have that in my CR-V, and it has proved helpful many times. We do have that CVT transmission today, and in Honda fashion, it emulates, I should say, a stepped gear transmission. And let me close the sunroof. There we go. Much quieter. And Honda's done a lot of work to make sure that this is a quiet Accord now. That's for quite a long time been a thing that people harp on Honda about, that the Accord is not quiet enough, or that Honda product in general isn't. This is definitely quieter. It has acoustic laminated glass here on the EX and above, all in the front. It has thicker carpet padding. They have added underbody covers under the whole entire thing to make it quieter. What else? Oh, they've got special proprietary rings on the aluminum wheels now that absorb tire noise and sound. They have special tires for it. Honda's really gone to a lot of trouble making sure that this Accord is quieter than ever. In fact, they even have 3 microphones in the cabin now for the active noise cancellation system to really try to quell any excess noise. And it's noticeable, especially around town. On the Touring level, you can even get differentiating suspension. So it's an electronic suspension, adaptive dampers with sport and normal modes. So as comfortable as this ride is on all of the broken pavement that we've been on, the Touring even takes it a step above, which is incredible. I just am so blown away by this. I've got the digital dashboard right now, which is really cool. It's actually taking pictures of each speed limit sign as we go by and displaying it in my dashboard so that I can see what the speed limit is and not go above it. On the Touring, you have a heads-up display which shows it on the windshield, which is really neat. I can't wait to get a chance to check that one out. But just everything is in typical Honda fashion, high quality and ergonomically just perfectly placed. All the buttons for the Honda sensing and the digital gauge cluster and the sound system are right here on the steering wheel within easy reach. Just to my left, I've got the trip odometer, and I have the button for all of the Honda Sensing Suite where I can turn individually on each feature if I want. If I don't like one of them, I can turn it off but leave the rest on, which is really nice. It's a very comfortable 12-way power seat here. It's a 4-way power lumbar, which makes it so you can really dial into exactly how you want to be for comfort. And there are cubbies galore, which is nothing new for Honda. I mean, I've got a bottle holder and a large pocket here in the door, which is pretty deep. I can reach back a little bit. We've got the cubby here in front of the shifter with the plugs for your smartphone and the cigarette lighter, or I think it's actually just a power port. And on the Touring and optional on the rest of them, you can actually have a wireless charging pad put in there, so you can just drop your phone in there. It'll connect to the Bluetooth automatically, and it'll automatically charge as well. 2 large cup holders in the middle, and then a large storage compartment underneath this very wide center armrest. There definitely won't be any fighting between you and your front passenger or over elbow room there. Nice moonroof here. Really just, it drives so well. I'm blown away, and that's great. I really can't knock Honda for that. I have mentioned I'm a Honda person anyways. I cannot wait to get my hands on the 6-speed manual because that's going to just be so much better. The CVT is great though for around town, and if you have a long commute, you can just get in and go. And like I said, it kind of emulates a stepped gear transmission, which is fantastic. That is going to wrap it up for me today in this version of the Accord. So this is the 1.5T EX. And soon enough, once those 2 liters come in, especially the Sport with a manual, I will be seeing you again, taking a video of that. But until then, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and find us on all of our social media platforms. And you know, while you're at it, check out some of our other videos if you haven't done so already. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Hollis from Grappone Drive, and I'll see you soon.